Probably the best boba I've ever had. So I just made homemade boba and I'm pretty excited about it. If you guys are stuck inside and want something to do, definitely make this boba with me. I woke up this morning just needing something creative to do, something fun to drink while I try to entertain my 2-year-old toddler while we're stuck inside with the virus out and about. I live in Malaysia and boba tea is huge here and I miss it because usually I can just buy it for $1 when I'm out running errands. But today I made it myself. So I'm going to show you guys how I did it. It was my first time, so it was an experiment, but it was successful. The only thing that is different is that my boba are kind of clear and white, and I think that's only because of the brown sugar I used. It's just lighter brown sugar, but they still are so chewy, so amazing. There's so much sugar in this cup, so I might need to share some with my husband or just slowly drink it throughout the day. And hopefully it will give me energy to ring around Rosie 100 more times. So if you guys want to see how I made it, stay tuned. And I hope you guys are hanging in there, staying healthy, and staying entertained and sane. So to make the boba pearls, you're going to need some tapioca flour, brown sugar, and water. I'm just going to melt the brown sugar in the water in a saucepan over about medium heat. And I'm just going to stir until it completely melts and it's like a simple syrup, basically. You want it to be completely clear and all the sugar dissolved. Next, I'm going to remove the simple syrup from the heat and add about a tablespoon of tapioca flour and just stir until the tapioca flour is combined and there are no lumps. And then I'm going to put it back on the heat and cook it over just low heat until the mixture thickens. Then turn the heat off again and add in the remaining tapioca flour. And you're just going to need to mix this until it becomes a dough. So it might take some elbow grease. Get in there, take it completely off the heat, use a spatula. Make sure you don't burn your hand if you go in to touch it because it might be a little hot. So just stir it until it completely combines. Then you're going to put this onto a cutting board or a clean surface with a little more tapioca flour and knead it until it's a smooth, beautiful ball of dough. Next, I cut the dough into about 3 sections. This just makes it easier to work with. And I put 2 of the sections into some plastic to keep them moist so they wouldn't dry out. And then I just started with the first section. I just rolled it into a worm, I guess you could call it. I thought I needed the tapioca flour, but I found that that kept me from being able to roll the dough out. It was too soft and smooth and slippery. So if your dough isn't completely sticking to your board, don't add more flour because it makes it easier to roll out. So I just kind of pulled it into a worm shape, fold it into, cut it into teeny little pieces. The boba, when it cooks, will get bigger, so keep that in mind when you cut your little boba pieces out. Then it's just a little tedious. You need to roll each of the little pieces into balls. So once I had all of my little pieces rolled into balls, I just put them in a little bowl with some extra tapioca flour to keep them from sticking. And I continued with the 2 other sections, just rolled it into a skinny worm, folded it, and cut it into little pieces. And then again, just rolled all the little pieces into balls and put them into my bowl with the other ones and a little more tapioca flour. Next, I put the bobas into some boiling water and I brought the water back up to a boil and waited for the bobas, I don't know what to call them, boba pearls, to float to the top. And once they floated to the top, I covered the pan and allowed them to cook for about 15 minutes. And after that, I took the bobas off the heat and kept them covered for another 10 to 15 minutes. And during that time, I made some strong black tea. After the boba had been sitting in the pot off the heat for 15 minutes, I strained them and then added them to a bowl of ice water. And next I'm going to make another, there's a lot of sugar in this recipe, another simple syrup with more brown sugar, a little water, and just cook it down until the sugar dissolves. And then you're going to add in your cooled boba, and you're going to let this mixture cook until the sugar becomes thicker and syrup-like, and it's kind of just this goopy, wonderful mess of boba pearls. And now it's time to assemble your drink. Just put the boba into your cup. And then I was trying to make the cool stripes on the side, so I just rolled my boba around to get the sugar to coat the sides so that when I poured my milk onto my cup, it would leave some stripes. And then I added some ice, poured in my strong tea and poured it all over the kitchen table as well, and then added in some milk. And my lines didn't really work, but it was still beautiful and delicious and some of the best boba I've ever had. So I realized I didn't really taste test it in front of you. I know it's amazing, but I will drink some right now. It's probably the best boba I've ever had. You can never beat fresh. No matter what kind of food it is, fresh is always better. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you want to see more videos like this where I try out random recipes or experiments, please leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future, and I'll see you later.